Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. We're now going to be doing stages 27 to 30 of the fan home release, a build kit from the legendary Knight Rider. Okay, surprisingly, in these 4 stages, there's absolutely loads to do. And it is going to start with the turbine we created previously, which looks like that. We're going to be building this onto the vehicle today. So it's going to be mounted. This is where we left off. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here to the fan home website. You can get this all the way from pack 1. Just to answer your questions now, I'm not sure when this is coming over to the USA. I get that probably asked the most of any question I get on the channel at the moment. I'm sure it will eventually, but I just can't answer that question. The only people that know that is fan home. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So it's all going to start with stage 27, and I'll just give you a quick flick through the magazine again. I did notice towards the end of the magazine, they actually take one of the episodes and they just break it down into what's going on, which is quite good. You've got some screen grabs there of the episode. But as you can see, we're going to be adding on to the turbine today. It looks like we're going to be doing the compressor, some ignition connector, quite a few bits actually going on here. So we're going to be putting all of this on this section just like that, and then this is going to be mounted, as I said, to the turbine that we created previously. So at the end, it's going to look just like that. As you can see here, there's lots of fine details here. Let's just put that to one side because it's these details that we need. Now these are plastic, they look just like that. So first thing we're going to do is we need to take the tab of the compressor, which looks just like that, and that's just going to go into this hole just at the far side here. As you can see, we've got a tiny hole there. It's going to go into that hole there like that. It's going to be held in with a BP screw. Make sure that goes all the way down. Perfect. We could just put that to one side for a second because we're going to be taking more parts to create the compressor now. Getting them all together, the first thing we need is this little box which has got a keyhole pattern in it. We also need this gold part which looks just like that. Now there is a slot in the top of this for this to fit in, so we're going to put that in like that so it looks like that from the inside. Going to hold that into place once again with a BP screw. So there is a hole in here. Get that in that hole and screw that nice and tight. We're then going to take the shaft side of that box and this little gold section here with a hook over the top of it. That hook's going to fit in the lip that we can see there. So that's going to go down. Get that in like that. So before we put that together, that's going to be fitting in. And then we're going to be mixing both of these together here, making sure we put them around the right way. There is a keyhole pattern in this, so it's going to go on just like that there. Now that's going to be attached to the tab that we put on first of all. It's going to go on like this here, held in with a BP screw. So it's kind of perpendicular to this center line here. So it's going to sit just like that. I have put it a bit loose so I can adjust it like that. And then the reason that I've done that is so that I can line this up with this tab we're going to put in here. Just put that in gently. Like that, so it's going to actually put it into place. And we're going to be putting this tab in once again with BP screws. I'll just put one in very loosely, just into the side of that compressor there. The other one's just going to go down into that silver part, just like that. Get that nice and tight. And then that is going nowhere. We do have another tab here, which is just going to go onto the other side like this. Once again, held in with a BP screw. So now that looks like that. Now on the top of the tab that we just put in, we've got this oil reservoir here. That's just going to go into the top like that. Once again, held in with a BP screw. It actually goes into the smaller hole there, just so you know. Go. And I just want to put it in loose, then I can move it like that. That's the oil reservoir in. And when we have it, we want it sort of bent at an angle like that, if I show you that. And the reason for that is when we're actually putting the next sleeve in here, we're going to be matching it up with the two holes that we've got on the bottom of the gold side here and the bottom of the white side here. So when this goes in, it's going to go in, whoops, other way around, kind of like that there. And that's once again going to be held in with a BP screw. This time the BP screw is going to be going down through this reservoir, out the other side and into this tab here. Go, that was a little bit fiddly, but now I can tighten up all the screws so this locks into place. Now we have got the top to put on this. That looks just like that. Going to go on this way here. Once again held in with a BP screw. Goes on with the rivets facing upwards. There is a little indent on the inside that will seat perfectly, and you want the arrow pointing towards this direction here. We've then got two more details to put in here. One looking like this, which is going to go down this shaft just at the back here. Just pushing that in. The other detail, which looks like this, which is just going to go over the side there, is going to be held in with a CP screw. I'm just lining that up. I'll get that in nice and tight. That is perfect. So that's what it's looking like now. Lots of details in this stage. Put that to one side because we're going to be taking this turbine that we worked in from the last pack. We have got this tiny silver detail here. This is called connector 3. Apparently there's a small slot for this to go, just checking that. I think it means, very hard to see in the picture, but just on the corner there. The hole just underneath that one, so that's going to go on there. Now we're going to be attaching this section here to this section here. Now you see you've got two holes on this. That's what these lugs here are going to go into. It's this way round that they're going to go in. So just push it in. We're going to be holding that into place with two GM screws. Probably going to need a heavy duty screwdriver for this one. There we go. When that's on, it should look like that. There's the two holes there, one and one just inside there. And then using CP screws again, we've just got the cover to go over the top here. That's going to fit on like that, and that's going to be held in with 3 CP screws. One on this side is 2. And one just down the bottom here is 3. Excellent. And that is all there is to do in that stage. That was absolutely loads to do then, wasn't it? So stage 28, once again, just so I show you, again, they've taken a scene and they've broken it down with some screen grabs there. But we're going to be continuing this where we're going to be assembling the gearbox and the fuel filter. That's everything that we've got in here. So we're going to put all of this together. We are adding on to the turbine now. So by the end of it, we're going to have some pipes coming out and it's going to look just like that. Now, just I don't know if you can see this on the side camera. We've got some different size pipes and I've tried to sort them out into the lengths they are. Not quite sure what we're using yet, but hopefully it will give us the instruction for that. Now the gearbox here, as you can see, is metal. We don't actually start with this though, so I'll put that to one side. What we are going to start with is the gearbox sump, which is looking just like that. And what we're going to do is we're going to be putting a bracket on it, which looks like this here. That's just going to go over the top like that. That's held in with BP screws. We want to take the side of the gearbox, which looks like this. We're going to be putting this bracket into place just here. So the sump is nice and flush on that side. That's going to be held in with EM screws. I think it should hold itself just like that. It does fit into a slot, but I'll get the EM screws open. Going into metal now, ends in an M. So once again, 3-in-1 oil. On my screw here, it's going to help just cut that thread as I put it in. So that's 1 and 2. Like that. Bring over the turbine here, and we're going to be starting to attach this now. Now, as you can see, we have got this bracket in the middle here, and it's that which is going to link to the gearbox, probably best on the top camera, just like that. And once again, that's held in with 2 EM screws. I've got one just in this side here. Perfect. And then just one underneath it. Now, to minimize gaps, make sure that they're in as tight as you can, because we're going to be putting the other side on there. Now, we want to take the transmission seal here, and when we put these together, we just want that to sit in like that there. So I'm going to put this together now. Clamp that into place. As you can see, this can't come out now. Just held in. And I'm going to hold that in with EM screws. Just 3 EM screws in here. So I'll put the center one in first. That will hold everything together. And then I'll put the other 2 in place. Tighten them up with my heavy duty screwdriver. And there you go. Nice and in place. And as you see, this end is free to move here. Okay, that's looking pretty impressive. Let's just put that to one side. I'm just going to create the fuel filter there, which is simply done by these 2 sections here. They're just going to clamp together. 2 lugs. Push it hard. There we go. That's one fuel filter in place. Now, where we got 2 of these small little pipes here, one of them is just going to go onto the top. The small pipes we're onto. And one of them is going to go just onto the side. Oops. Of this section coming out here. There you go. Now, normally I glue these, but they've got on really solidly. They're quite thick pipes, so I'm not going to do that. Okay, the way we're going to connect this up is the one that's coming out the side of the fuel filter here is going to go into the port, just onto this black section, which has got 3 tabs on there. So I'll get this one on first. Make sure that's all the way on. The second one is going to go onto the tab that we added manually. Now, this is where I've realised that this point here that I put into the hole here, I've got it done wrong. There's actually a little tiny hole into this black section here. So I'll get this in and show you where this should be. It should actually go there. See, even I make mistakes. I make mistakes so you don't have to. That will then allow us to take this pipe here, and that's going to go into that tab that I've just put in there. I'm going to take pipe 21H. We've got 2 of those pipes there. I just want one of them here. That's going to go into the top of the section here we've just been working on. Get that all the way in. Perfect. And that one's going to be going onto the left nipple on the top of this section just here. All the way down. And that's perfect. That's in place there. And I haven't really mounted this. They've kept this quite fluid, if you like, clear. But that's how the picture looks there. But as I said, this isn't actually attached to anything. Now we want to take the longest lead, which looks like this, 28L. One end is going to go into this box that we saw here. It's actually going to go on the very right hand side here. So I'll get that pushed in. And the other end is going to be threaded through this section here. So it comes out the other side. I'm just going to push that all the way through here. There you go. So I've got it out the other side. And we're just going to leave that for a second. Now we need the thick pipe looking like this. And one end of the thick pipe is going to go onto the end just here. I'll thread that one in. So I'll thread that one in. Perfect. Just like that. We've got the next biggest wire here, which they're labelling up as the positive battery cable. They want one side to go into the rear post at the back here. That's on top here. And it's going to go into this side here. And then this lead is going to be going onto the end of this silver section just here. Pushing that on now. Excellent, just like that. We're going to take the smaller lead that we've got left now. That's going to go into the one nipple that's coming out the side of that section there. Put that one in. And the other end is going into the ignition coil on this side here. The nipple there, get that in. Perfect. So now that looks just like that. 28H here is going on to the nipple that we've got just at the back of this section here. See it just there. I'll get that one in. Just like that. The other end of this is going to go underneath these wires here. There you go. And that's just left to hang. Not actually doing anything, that lead. We're just going to let that lead breathe at the top there. We're not actually doing anything with that lead there. We do have one pipe left over. I just want to check the pipe that we threaded through here is coming out this side here. I don't know if we connect this to anything. I'm just going to double check the instructions on that. It doesn't actually say we connect that one to anything at the moment. So just so you know, I have got a spare nipple just in the center of that one there. I'm not sure if I'm meant to connect anything to that. I haven't seen anything that I'm meant to connect to that yet. But that is all there is to do in that really difficult and tricky long stage. I think I need a rest after all of that. This is issue 29 now. So in issue 29, we're actually going to be starting. We've got an extra bit of the chassis here, which we're going to be starting to attach the turbine on top of. I'm going to keep this into place here. And then it looks like we're connecting the battery box as well. So at the end, it's going to look just like that, which means I need to bring over what we've worked on so far up to that stage. So that looks just like this. Massive section. Okay, we're going to be taking what we've done here. I'm just going to move these wires out of the way so I can actually sit this turbine into this section here. Being very gentle while I get this in. Perfect. That's in there. I'm going to turn it upside down because we're going to keep it into place by putting 2 screws into these points just here. Those screws are EM screws. So that one's one, and the second one just in here like that. Turn this over because now that is seated into place. It's not going anywhere. Pretty good. So the free wire that we've got here is just going to go into the control unit here, the bottom. Putting that in here on the nipple. Just like that. And then the free end of the battery positive wire is just going to go onto the battery here. Get that in. Get that all the way down. Perfect. Excellent. We want the fuel line, which was the wire that we had left from the last stage. And we're going to be connecting one end to a nipple that we've got on the left front post, just here. Just there. I'll connect that down. Very fiddly this is, but I'm hoping you can follow my instructions okay. And the other one is going to the outer battery terminal. So it's going to go over here. Well, that's excellent. I am just going to trace that lead round so it doesn't get in the way anywhere. Just like that. Perfect. And that's that in place. As you can see here, we have got the larger of the pipes here, which aren't connected to anything. As a matter of fact, I've got 3 of those. I've got one down here, one here, and one here. I think everything else is connected by the look of it. But obviously we'll come back to these pipes soon. Put this to one side. And this is where I actually get to open stage 29. Absolutely massive parts. Check this out. And some screws. And And we want the assembly from issue 5 looking just like this. And that's going to go into this section here, this way round, so the switch is actually in line with where the switch is going to go. That's going to be held in with 2 AM screws. The switch is going to be held in, should I say. It's going to be held in with 2 AM screws. I'm going to put the switch into position here. You don't want to pinch any wires when you put these screws in. But here's the second one. And that switch is in nice and tight now. So as you can see, we can operate that no problems at all. Keep that in its off position. And then we're going to secure the battery compartment into place once again just with AM screws. I'm going to take 4 of them this time. This will keep all of this into place. I've just noticed because the off is on this side here, let me just show you there, that switch is the wrong way round. I'm going to need to flip it because, let me just put this last screw in here, because when it's slid over to this side, i.e. the contact with nothing on it, that will be the off position. So I will just flip that around. Not that it matters, you're not going to really see the off and on button underneath, but my OCD is playing up. Okay, so the battery box is in place, the switch is in place. What we're going to do now is we're going to be putting this assembly here just onto the back section here. That's going to go just over the top like this, and it's going to be held in from the other side with BP screws. Put in this side over here. That's 2, and then just 1 here is 3. Now just on these 2 points here, we are going to be putting a tab. I'm guessing we're going to be putting cables through them soon, but for now they want us to keep it tidy, so we're going to secure that down with 2 AM screws. I'm only putting these in very lightly because I'm guessing we are going to be taking that out later on to put cables under there. And now we're just going to attach all of this to the main chassis of the vehicle. This is going to be going this way round, and it's just going to fit on here. Whoops. Just like this. You can see the little indents where these 3 points are meeting here. Get this in. There we go. Just like that. It's going to be held in with GM screws on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions there. And there you go. That's all of those in. Show you on the side camera. That's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage, stage 130, once again, look, screen grabs from the show. We've just got a couple of bits here just to put into place here. We're going to be putting these on the side of the chassis we just installed there. And we're just going to add a couple more details. So at the end of it, it's going to look just like that. So this is everything we got in here. Let's get this out. I'm going to be turning this upside down. Just like that. Being very careful of the engine here. Just looking at that, it should be okay. And these sections are going to go on here just like this. So one in here and the other one in exactly the same way, just in the other side over this side here. In like that. They're going to be held in with GM screws. Now the funny thing is they're actually held in from the other side. So I'm going to have to hold these in and get these screwed in. They're held in 4 places. So while I'm holding it, I'll get these in place. And then once that's in, we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. And there you go, on the side camera, they're both in. Just turn that back over this way. Once again, we need to keep it upside down. So again, support that front area there, because I'm working on this section. I'm actually down to 1 camera now, because this has taken quite a long time to do. We're just going to be putting this little tab in here, just into the hole, just here. And I'm going to secure that into place once again with a GM screw. Yet I'm not sure what this part is for yet. But that's that one in like that. And then finally, just on these lugs here, we've got this section here, which is just going to go over the top just like this, and that's held in with BP screws from the other side. Just need 2 of those. So I'll put it on its side and I'll get these in. And there you go. That is that pack completed. Loads to do, but look, check that out. We've mounted the engine. We've still got some pipes there to do. We've extended this out. We've reinforced the bottom there. Oh, it's big. It's very big. What a way to come back from America. Hey, we have a nice easy day, and today this video's taken 1.5 hours and I've still got to edit it yet, so hopefully it makes sense. I found the instructions a little bit difficult to follow because we're putting black pipes into black details which are actually shown on the instructions. Not very clear at all, but I'm hoping I've done everything right there. But you know me, this is the World of Wayne channel. I make mistakes so you don't have to. If you want to get this for yourself, once again, I have put the link down here to the Fan Home website. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.